The reason I do these reaction videos is because UFC 5 sucks. I like to diversify in the content that I be uploading. So yeah, I entered in another jiu-jitsu tournament. This is the quarterfinals. This is my first match, and there was a lot of things wrong with this match. For one, I didn't have any coaches. Well, obviously in jiu-jitsu, a coach is not needed. Shouldn't really need a coach. But the thing is, I've competed in like 5 other tournaments at this point with a coach. So to enter this one without a coach was kind of scary. Not being able to rely on someone to give you direction. This match is a very pivotal match or learning lesson in my jiu-jitsu career. So on the tournament website, you can actually look at your opponent's competition history. And my dumbass decided to go study this guy. And this guy right here actually won the tournament that I lost in. It was playing mind games with me. I basically told myself, hey, you just wasted your time and money. So my game plan is that the match is 5 minutes, and my goal is to utilize each single minute possible. Now, the way to do that is to actually shoot a double leg takedown as soon as the fight starts. And as you can see here, I have some lady parts, and I do the exact opposite. And I sit to my butt. Right away, he passes my guard. I do the mistake of actually pulling him into me. I'd prefer to have space so that I could coordinate my attacks, and now I'm in a very bad position. I believe he has some sort of Darce choke locked in. So from here, I wasn't too nervous about the choke, so I just stood still because I was afraid if I were to move or try to escape, he'd be able to lock it in even deeper. From here, you can actually see me put my thumb up to the ref. I understand that he's the one using energy right now. So here I was thinking to myself, I'm pretty safe here, and he's burning his arms out. So I'm gonna let him continue burning his arms out. And then once he lets go, I'm gonna just attack straight away. So from here, I elevate him. I don't know if that's the right defense, but my thought processing is that if he's elevated, he has to use more energy into holding on to me. Then here he switches to guillotine. This is where I got a little tighter, so I take my forearm and I ram it against his throat so that he would let go. And then here, I was actually whistling. My breathing sounded like whistles. And then here, he actually gives up on the choke. And right here, boom. You can actually see the white of my mouth guard. Let me replay it for you. So as soon as he lets go, I immediately go into the underhook. And you can see right here, you can see the white of my mouth guard. I am smiling. The reason I'm smiling is because I understand this dude used all of his energy into that choke. Couldn't get it, and now I'm in a pretty dominant position. Now what I need to do here is pin his left knee to the floor, which is what I do now, and now you can see me smile. I'm literally smiling because I know I'm about to fuck this guy up. Here I get into mount. I secure it. I look up to the ref. I'm smiling at the ref, but he doesn't give a shit. And yeah, I'm in a very safe position. I could feel his arms right now. His resistance wasn't that strong. Right now, I'm setting up my chokes for the cross-collar choke. And I tug that bitch, and I get the tap. Now, you obviously can't see what I did there from this angle, so I'll probably insert another angle of that submission. So after I get the tap, I let ego get ahead of myself, and I actually don't help him up. Now, this is pretty disrespectful on my end, because in the past competitions, in victory or defeat, I'm always helping out my opponents. However, here, I'm just very upset with myself because I let this dude get into my head without doing anything. Now, going back to what I was saying, with this being a pivotal moment in my jiu-jitsu journey, is that you shouldn't care about your opponent. You should care more about yourself. You should only be focusing on yourself, the hard work you put in, and knowing that you're going to try your hardest once you hop onto the mats. Now, this is just a learning lesson in general and living proof that you should just have faith in yourself. Obviously here, I doubted myself very heavily. And now I know to never doubt myself again. So yeah, after realizing I was a dickhead, I made sure I shook his hand. And here I am getting my hand raised for like the second time in 20 matches. So this is the second match. This is actually the quarterfinals. I know I said the last match was the quarterfinals. However, that was the 8th finals. And this is the quarterfinals. I'm going against a dude who won his first match by submission also. So I knew it was going to be a good match. So like I said, my game plan is to sit on my butt because I am a female and create some distance and then try to get into some leg entanglements. This is exactly what I do here. So right here, I'm trying to get a grip on his collar and Boom. I shoot in for a reverse Talhiva, however, he sits down, and now I'm in this weird situation. This is somewhat of a half guard. Not really. I use it to get up here. I try to go for a loop choke, failed, so I drag him into my guard, and now I have a shitty triangle. So here I go for the triangle setup, however, both of his arms are inside, and now it's very hard, or basically impossible, to finish a triangle with both arms inside. So I use it as a high guard, and I do the actual triangle setup, as you see here. He sticks a foot into my face, which was very uncomfortable, so I try to use it to get up. I look at the camera because I thought he was going to tap, and then I'm just frustrated because the dude is not tapping. Here, very last second, I go for an armbar. Right here, I could have went for an armbar right now. However, I was blind to that. I go for it way too late. His arm is basically out. His elbow is past my waistline. And now we're in this very weird situation. Position, I should say. We are in a very weird position. It's probably the first time I've been in this position. Regardless, I try to make sure that I'm on top, which is what you see now. And I'm in somewhat of a side control. I need to be more upwards towards his body. What I try to do here, I try to grab a body lock, however, he's able to regard. And now I'm in his closed guard, which sucks, because now I start from the beginning. Try to open his guard. Here, I put my hands by his biceps, take a 1-2 step, as you see here, insert my knee through the middle, and try to open his guard. Here, I'm going to pause the video. So the thing about this position, I have the knee in the middle. So all I have to do really is to just sit back and have his legs open. As soon as his legs open, I could take his left leg and sit back for a leg lock. I was thinking about that right here. I had to make a very fast decision if I was going to do it or not. However, I chose not to because I remember in the last tournament, I was in a leg lock scenario. I swept the dude, and instead of coming up to get my 2 points to tie the match, I went for the leg lock, and I couldn't finish it because I suck at jiu-jitsu, and I ended up losing that match. I was very close to sitting back into a leg lock attempt. However, I remembered at this very moment that it didn't end well for me the last time. So I decided to try it and pass. That basically shows you that you really do learn in your losses. So from here, instead of sitting back and going for a leg lock, I try to pass into side control by passing it to my right side. Here, he actually tries to choke me with my lapel. I don't even think that's a legit technique. I think you're just trying to strangle me. Here, he actually throws in a triangle. He thinks he has a triangle. His coach thinks he has a triangle. He's screaming for the triangle finish. However, I had both of my arms inside. I was pretty safe in here. I don't think he understood the assignment. So here, I was pretty safe. So to actually open the legs, I insert my knee yet again, which is what you see here. His legs open, and instead of grabbing grips and going for a pass, I go straight to my bread and butter, which is the body lock. Here, I sprawl on one leg, bring it to the other side, 2-on-1 with the shin. I trap that ankle. Now from here, I need to step over his right knee, which is what I do here. But he does a good job trying to re-guard, so I pass to the other side. And now I force him into a half guard situation. Now here, just like the last match, I want to pass into mount. My head's on the wrong side though, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to circle in to the other side, grab an underhook, pin his right knee to the floor yet again, and then we should be into mounts. I do it right here. Try to free my left leg also. Get my left knee to the floor, and use my right foot to windshield wipe, as you see here. Boom. Now here, I'm in mounts. I do get my points. So that's pretty much game. There's like a minute left. I'm up 7-0, and this dude was exhausted. I could just tell with the resistance he was giving me with his hands. So I can very easily sit in this position for the next minute and win a decision. However, I like making people suffer. So I'm obviously going to go for the submission, which is what I do here. I'm slowly setting up my grips for the cross collar choke, which is the submission that you've seen previously. And then this is where I start to loop my right elbow. You can see right here. I'll loop it across his face. Boom. And then put my head to the floor to base. And right here, I'm going to pause the video. This is very poor technique. For one, my right forearm needs to be under his neck. It's across the nose. I'm not choking him. I'm making him very uncomfortable by wedging my forearm across the nose. It's not more of a choke, it's more of a pain tolerance thing. I could literally hear him grunting because of the pain. And here, I get the tap. And then I'm humble in this match. I help him up. And it's all good. It's all fun. Like I said, I was going for the submission. I could have easily waited the next 30 seconds, the last 30 seconds, and win a decision. However, I want the submission. So I tried my hardest to get the submission. I got the submission. However, the computer guys, the guys doing the score table, they marked it down as points. So doing that submission didn't really matter. I basically wasted my energy doing that submission for nothing, which is pretty annoying because I could have saved that energy for the next match. So this is the semifinals. At this stage of the tournament, I was I was very exhausted. I was very exhausted at this moment, especially because of the last match. I was pretty back and forth. And on top of that, the nerves were starting to get into me because I wasn't expecting to make it this far. I was expecting to lose the first round, if I'm being honest. And at this point also, because it's semifinals, I am guaranteed a medal, win or lose. I know you shouldn't settle for anything other than first. However, if you consider the fact that I was planning on losing the first round, just give me a medal and I'll be happy. So yeah, walking onto the mats, I was pretty exhausted. I told myself if I don't submit this guy in 2 minutes, the goal is to just survive because I knew I wouldn't be able to do anything. So yes, the match starts. I shake his hand and I do somewhat of a glove touch, a fake glove touch. You know, in UFC 5, when you fake glove touch, you go for the glove touch, but you throw a head kick. This is basically what you see here. It's kind of disrespectful looking back at it. So I slap and bump him, and as soon as he bumps, I sit to my butt. Now the reason that can be seen as disrespectful, I think it's disrespectful. So the reason I would see it as disrespectful is because to be able to sit on your butt, you can't just sit down like, hey, I want to sit down. Come into my guard. You have to make a connection with your hands. And the thing about the connections is people actually, you need to fight for it. Like people are not going to just let you touch like their body. Like they're gonna start hand fighting and stuff like that. And that's where the disrespect comes into play because I go for a fist pump. He thinks I'm going for a fist pump. I'm actually baiting him to giving me his hand so that I could touch him and sit to my butt, as you see here. So yeah, I sit to my butt. I make the space. I force into half guard. From here, I have a very good grip onto his collar. He actually puts his head in the wrong direction and sets up a loop choke. I go for the loop choke here. However, he was attacking my right elbow. I wasn't able to fit it the way I wanted to. So I failed on that attempt. He was pretty strong, dude. I'm able to close my guard up. I go for the triangle attempt that you've seen in the last match. However, he had his good placement. After shooting that triangle attempt, I knew this guy was good because of where he positioned his arms. So from here, he's going for a knee cut while I have the half guard, somewhat of the half guard right now. Right now, he's on his way of passing. There's this one Instagram video that I seen. I'll probably put it up right now. I literally seen this video as I was driving to the stadium. I'd never tried it in my life. You basically invert into an omoplata as they're knee cutting off your half guard. I kept this technique in my head because half guard is what I play. And you can see me do a shitty attempt of doing that as he knee cuts. I try to invert. I almost get it. However, like I said, he's a strong guy. And now he forces me into turtle. From here, I'm pretty good at trying to wrestle through, grab a leg, and try to wrestle him. However, I was exhausted. So I forced half guard. I try to play deep half in this position, but his left arm was preventing me from doing that. So I try to get my head underneath his, but he was pretty strong. He was pretty good with his hand positioning. Here, I'm just getting squashed. I'm just tired. I give up at this moment. He lets me close up my guard again. He does a good job at posturing up, not making me able to attack. Here, I break a grip. I try to go for a sweep here, but like I said, he's pretty good. And he passes my guard with ease. So from here, I go for the loop choke again. However, it was a very bad attempt. I was kind of on my way down to lying. I think you need to be sitting upright to finish that choke. So here he actually does end up passing my guard, and now we're in side control. Now I'm going to pause the video here. You can see me trying to not settle for side control because that's where you can get points and advance into very dominant positions. You can see me trying to wrestle up, so I can either force turtle or try to scramble into something. Don't make him get side control. So what you think I might be doing is the exact opposite because I sit my ass down. I am just too tired to even fight for anything. The reason I do that too, other than being tired, is that I'm actually setting up one of my favorite submissions. So here I shoot for the buggy choke, but this is a very bad attempt. My elbow shouldn't be facing the ceiling. It should be facing the exact opposite way. I don't know why I locked it in like that. Here you can actually see me fix my arm positioning. Now my elbow is facing him, not the ceiling. From here, it was a little tighter than the first attempt. However, he was just squashing me. It was very uncomfortable.
There's no choke there, Liam. Keep that space. Keep that space.
So he's trying to get into mounts. He goes knee on belly. I know I can't settle here. He ends up getting the points though. I can't let him get into mount at this stage. So from here, I do a hip escape. Now, I believe he has half guard. So this is a pretty good move by me. So he has a crossface with his right arm. His right elbow is what's preventing me from flipping him over to that side. The thing about his crossface, he ends up, as he's getting into mount, he crossfaces a little too deep, so that post becomes eliminated. So what I would do is trap his elbow, his right elbow, and then flip him over. I was somewhat purposely letting him get into mount so that I can go for the reversal, as you see here. From here, he goes for the mount. He doesn't even have the underhook, but I understand his crossface is way too deep. So I let him get into it, and I flip him over. I'll replay that again. You can see my left arm as I flip him over, trapping his elbow right here. And now I'm on top, but in his close guard. So from here, I'm trying to go for the same guard opening that you've seen in the last match, where I put the knee through the middle. However, I was just too exhausted to do anything. Here he goes for an arm drag. I basically set myself up in armbar, but he doesn't go for it. I don't think he was aware of it. I heard his coaches screaming for an armbar as I crossed my arms together. Here he goes for it again, but I'm just laying on him, trying to rest, trying to gain some of my energy back. But I was just too tired. His legs there was open for a brief moment. Didn't take advantage of it. From here, I just said fuck it. I took his collar. I just rammed it against his neck, trying to see if I could submit him there. That is a choke, however, it's not the most useful choke. So from here, I'm just way too exhausted at this point. There's a moment here, he actually opens his legs. His legs is open. I can stand up and start passing. However, instead of doing that and actually having a chance to win the match, what I do, I sit to my butt and I let him up. I let him up. What am I doing? Now that counts as a sweep. That wasn't even a sweep. Technically, that wasn't even a sweep. I just sat to my butt and I gave up. Now from here, I understood the assignment. I'm tired as hell. He is up by a significant amount of points. Now the goal here is to just survive. Here I invert so that he doesn't pass my guard. This looks pretty weird to the average viewer. However, this is what you call good guard retention. From here, I throw a Hail Mary of a triangle, and then I switch to a Kimura. However, he postures up and I fall off his back. So from here, I go for another Hail Mary, another loop choke. However, he easily knee cuts. And here I throw in another shitty buggy choke attempt. And here, yeah, I just gave up. I knew I lost the match. Just don't get submitted. There's like 20 seconds left. He gets to mount, gets another 4 points. I believe he was setting up something with the collar, I could tell. But I didn't give a shit because the time was over. And he won the match. Yeah, you could just see how tired I am by the way I get up. Take my time. I wanted to throw up at that moment. I don't even fix my belt properly, as you can see. I am just exhausted. So I lose the semifinals match. I finish with a bronze medal. Overall, I went 2 wins and 1 loss in a bracket of 17 people. Besides all that, this is probably the most fun I've had in a competition. I've learned a whole lot about myself by joining this tournament, and I'm sure the next time around, I'll come home with the gold medal. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see more jiu-jitsu content, let me know in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.